Ask Tom on Home Show.
Chris from Leak City, Texas has a question about a mysterious leak.
Yeah, he says this photo right here is coming from the second floor where the leak is, but only when the temperature drops to a certain level. Chris writes, we believe it's condensation on the pipes. When the weather is warm lately, it does not leak, but it's been happening long as we've owned the house. Roofers say it's not the roof, and you can run water for an hour and it doesn't leak. It starts below the attic, but above the second floor subfloor. Meanwhile, the upstairs bathroom sink, where the condensation is coming from, makes a gurgling sound, and we believe it could have to do with venting. This hasn't happened forever, but it's been at least a year. So, Tom, put them out of their misery. What's your advice for Chris?
First thing I would investigate if your air conditioning system, if it's in the attic, is it draining the cold water into that drain, which means the condensate from the air that's coming out of the air conditioner is draining into that drain. If that's the case, that would make sense for the gurgling noise, because the gurgling noise is the air conditioner dripping the condensate into that drain, which is common. We all have it in our P-traps. So that would be number one. And number two is, if it is that, the pipe gets so cold, like your Miller Lite or Coca-Cola can outside by the pool, it starts to sweat. What do you do with those? You put a koozie or a rubber insulator thingamajig on there, and it keeps it from sweating. And that's what you would do with these pipes. You would go in and you would put a tight foam insulation on all of them, not for freezing, but to keep it from sweating. And just to give you another example, ductwork in an attic, especially metal ductwork, the reason it's insulated is not really for energy efficiency, although it helps. It's to keep that from just raining, because that metal duct would get so cold and that hot air would touch it, it would just rain water off of it. So that insulation keeps that air from touching it. So insulating any cold pipe will eliminate any kind of condensate.
So what you're saying is it's possible that the condensation is actually being created by the air conditioner, and maybe even not even making into the pipe. It's coming from that drain and coming straight down the pipe.
Well, it's draining into that pipe, and then he's hearing the gurgling. It could be, who knows where it's draining into, if they tied in up at the top, which not always are they supposed to. I would just investigate it. Maybe it's not at all. But if it's a pipe that's condensating and just because it's cold, and that would make it very cold because the water's so cold coming out of the air conditioner, and it's only going to happen certain times a year. And it also creates a gurgling in your sink, because you hear the dripping and you don't know why it's there. It's not necessarily a venting problem. A venting problem would cause a backup. You would have water coming up the drain. So I don't think it's venting. I think it's that. But you just insulate it. Once you insulate it, it will quit sweating. Just like anything, it just needs insulation.
All right. You got a question? No sweat. All you got to do is go click on the Ask Tom button at HomeShowRadio.com. You can write us, you can video us, you fill out the form, send pictures, and it helps us do a good job. We want to do a good job. We want to help you. That's why we do these things. We do one every day. We post them on our Facebook page. We will find them at Home Show Radio's YouTube channel, of course, at HomeShowRadio.com.